did not show up.
No,
Castro.
I didn't think he would. I honestly did not
He
expect
came
to
at the end though.
Oh,
I
he
think
did?
he was
He
guilted
was-
into it.
To say goodbye?
No. He was at the speech.
No, I thought at the airport too.
But he did not
Yeah.
greet him at the airport.
No.
He did not greet at the airport. He was at the speech at the teatro, and then he was at the baseball game, and then he went with him to the airport.
But there was a lot of controversy in this country, because I was here,
Criticism about
and they
it.
were saying,
Yeah.
why didn't he, that's what most,
Yeah.
he showed up for the Pope.
Yeah, who knows? So
Yeah.
whatever
But-
is in the world, but he was there at the end. That's the matter. And while they were in Cuba before the joint press conference, they signed a new agreement about restoring general mail to Cuba. And
Okay.
what else, Christopher?
The airlines, and also, they're gonna have two currencies now instead of, they're gonna get rid of one of the currencies.
Yeah, they're finally gonna get rid of one, but I don't know which one. If the peso or the CUC. This is the sign for the.
That's where the Pope had his mass.
Yeah.
Yeah, next. There it is. That's what is in front of that.
So tell us a little bit of why, as Cubans, you are not allowed to go into that park.
Because you're not allowed to do anything and go anywhere, and because this is where the Cuban parliament is, where they meet.
Yeah, it's kind of.
So there is a lot of security around the area, and probably because they're afraid people gonna mess this up. You know, people don't mess Jose Marti statue. I mean,
Yeah.
that's like our hero, our apostle.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not. I mean, there is security everywhere.
Okay.
You know, so for a long time we weren't even allowed to go into a hotel, so much less.
Yeah.
Next one.
Is the palace
There's
like,
it. Huh?
is the palace like the White House?
No,
No.
honey, there's nothing like the White House. No. This is. I was right in front of the president on this photo. There were like maybe 12 rows of chairs where the journalists were sitting down, and then I was in the first one in front and in the risers. Next one. That's when they were getting off the stage, the podium, or things like that. Next one.
Yeah, communism. Everybody
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So this is- See this camera right here? These are the White House camera. And I think that this is the Cuban camera, but one of these was the White House, and this one. All the camera guys were Latinos. They all spoke Spanish. And I was standing right here in between these two cameras. Again, I was the first one front. I had to get the
Yeah.
first
You
one.
should.
Yes. Next.
Good.
See all this beautiful. See, look at this. The details of those balconies. It just.
Yeah. It's like something you see in Europe. So
Yeah.
obviously it was
It's
built by
like a
Spaniards.
lot of meet somebody else.
Yes, who is this guy?
He's the second under Raúl Castro.
The heir apparent.
Is he the new, he's
Yeah,
the next
they
one?
said that he might be the second one, but I
What's
talked
his
to him.
name?
I don't remember. Something Diaz.
But if Raúl dies, he takes over? Is that what they?
Well, no, he's supposed to be, I'm sorry, he's the designated, when Raul steps aside, this
He's
is
the
the guy
second.
that's gonna come.
It's not like a vice president, but it's sort of like a vice president. Okay.
It's
Wow.
like
So
what they do
he-
in Russia.
I told my brother about it and he said, "Oh no, he won't be president
No.
because he's da da da." And then he gave me a rap about it. I said, "Oh, okay."
No.
Next one.
Everybody thinks he is.
This is Alicia Alonso.
Yeah,
She's a prima ballerina of Cuba.
she's 95 and
Yeah,
blind.
so
She
everybody's.
still lives in Cuba?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah. So the Grand Theatre is named after her because she's like the superstar of Cuba.
She
ballet.
danced until she was
Next.
65.
Wow.
There is the man.
oh, that's
He was standing right behind me on the balcony.
Oh, Lord.
Next.
How do you feel?
I wish I could be this close so I could slap. Yes, see, I'm here with the American president on your soul, on my soul,
Yeah.
on my land.
So do you feel that overall it's going to be considered a failed experiment by the Castros?
What do you mean?
Well, they have had 57 years of rule, and now with the changes, will there be changes that will make it so that what they did was sort of null and void, and now you have a
I
new.
don't think it was
world.
a failed experiment at all.
Yeah.
It was an accomplished experiment. They
Mhm.
kept the Cuban people under their toes for a very long time.
Yeah.
And they brainwashed us for a long time. For the first time that you step a foot in a school, you're told what to do, what to say, and what not to say,
Yeah,
and what to think. So you are not independently thinking for yourself. You are always told this is how it is and this is how it's gonna go. You go to this school, you wear this uniform, you eat this what we give you, and you get up when you have to get up, and you go to bed when you have to get up. It's always like that.
So the next generation,
The next generation got the power.
Yeah.
They have to, it's like Obama said, they have to have the willing to change
Yeah.
within Cuba. They are the one that have to promote the change, otherwise it will never happen.
Yeah.
So, I'm glad that Fidel is no longer sort of in power, but Raul had bent the rules a little so people can, breathe a little easier.
and do we know why that's happening?
No.
They don't have the
Um,
money. Venezuela's being cut off, and
I think a lot of that had to do with Venezuela because Venezuela is cutting the oil supply, so they don't have.
They don't
that
have Russia,
revenue.
they don't have Venezuela,
have
now
Russia. Now the new partnership is China,
Mhm.
and their partnership with the European countries is going really well, and that's tourism have been always the number one source of income in Cuba. And I think that's how they managed to sustain Cuban people's salaries and food going. But as soon as they saw that things were going south with Venezuela, I think that they started changing their minds how they were gonna keep feeding people.
You mentioned that people would not talk to you because they were afraid. If someone did talk to you, what would happen to them?
I'm not sure, but I hope that they don't get reprimanded. My hope is that they
Would
be
they lose
able.
their jobs or something like that?
do they get
Yeah.
detained?
I don't know, because there was security everywhere and they were watching who was talking. I don't know if they're gonna get reprimanded, but
What,
he
Raul?
experienced.
Raul?
No. His question is if the people that I interviewed, if they're gonna get reprimanded after we left.
No.
They
They didn't have anybody looking over our shoulder.
But Luis said he was being followed.
Well, Luis, because they knew he was.
Because
a
they
I was
terrorist.
gonna say, what would be the repercussions if someone just came up to you and started saying this, I don't like it here, this and that? Would that person be put in jail? Would they?
Well, nobody said to me that they didn't like anything. They on the contrary, they were saying that they liked what they were seeing, that they were hopeful, that they were glad, that they were.
They were not
talks.
bad mouthing the government of Cuba.
No. They weren't bad mouthing the government. On the contrary, they were saying, because my question to them was, if they were happy about the changes, what do they thought about the changes and the new relationship between the two countries?
I talked to lots of people and I never had anybody's, I mean, I must have talked to 40 people in the 3 days I was
Is that
there.
because the access to this event was only people who the Castro regime allowed in the area? Because a lot of people were.
No,
No.
because we were talking to people
Okay.
who lived in the neighborhood.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, and they were walking normally on the
Right
street
on
like
the
you
street.
would.
okay.
They just closed up the street when he was gonna go to speak at the teatro.
Yeah.
But, we were able to walk across around the rails, okay?
I'm not sure how many times, but the photo you showed when it was Castro and it was Obama at the podiums, you said they were coming off. I thought I read in American, or I saw on CNN, that Castro tried holding up Obama's hand and Obama pulled back down. Is that
Well,
right?
so he had limp.
I actually have the picture, but I didn't bring it with me, and I was like, what is going on there? And now I understand what you mean. Obama has a smiley face, and his hand is like this, and Raul's hand is like this. I think I want to show that picture.
But didn't he
So-
bring the arm up in a limp? It was, Obama's
So,
hand was very
it was
limp.
like this.
Okay.
Obama was smiling, and Castro was like,
Oh.
so that was the picture.
Yeah, a lot of
So
people
I
thought it
didn't
was
know what was
odd.
going on.
It was
I thought I
odd.
heard on the news that Castro tried to show
Lift
like
his arm.
unity between him and Obama wasn't gonna be seen with.
I don't know. There was a lot of awkward moments
Yeah.
because of the question, the Q&A. I thought that wasn't gonna happen. The Q&A. I thought they were just gonna give a joint statement and that was gonna be it. And they would say now Q&A. And I was like, I was like a kid with my hand up there. But you know, Obama had two picks. You know, Jim Acosta and what is her name?
Andrea Mitchell.
Andrea Mitchell. And then there was one question from the Cuban journalist, and that was it. So.
What were you gonna ask?
What I was gonna ask, I had like a 10 question going around my head. If he picked me, I would have just asked the one about the visas, how the process was gonna go, if anybody was gonna be able to get a visa and come, or if it's gonna stay the same. And then to Raul Castro, I was gonna ask, I can't remember now, but I think I was gonna ask about freedom of the press. You know, because they are not used to they never done press conferences. They're not used to being asked questions because they always do whatever they want. So I think that was one of my questions. But as I was lifting my hands, every time I lift my hand, I have a different question in my head.
This was the first time in his whole life that Raul Castro was asked questions.
Oh, wow.
The first time, and go beyond that, this was the first time that he'd been asked questions by a foreign media.
Let's move on because we're running out of time. Let's go quickly through the photos.
Can I ask you one
This is at the stadium. Everybody was wearing red, white, and blue, the colors of the flag. And like Christopher said earlier, when Obama walked into the stadium, it was like an earthquake because everything was shaking. Everybody was like, it was like I don't know, if you've never been in an earthquake or felt like the ground shook, you don't know what it feels. But it was like that. And in Cuba, in Santiago, where I'm from, we have a lot of shakes. So you hear the noise coming. It's a roar, it's really loud. So it felt like that. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of eerie, you know. Next one. That same. Next one. Those white, go back a second. This white right here, these are students from the medical school.
Oh, so that's what they were.
Yeah, next. There's a journalist on the bottom. Those are the ones, I don't know where they're from, but there were two sets down there. Those one, and move it to the next. There's the Major League,
Those are the Major League Baseball guys that they brought in.
the one with the pink shirt. Next one. There's Obama right there. And
He's alive.
Michelle, Sasha Malia, and the grandma was like around here. And there is Raul right there, Carrie right there. Next one. There he is, chatting around. Next one. This one. So this is the moment that I thought I was gonna pass out.
Who is this?
This is my older brother.
Aww.
Next one. My aunt, who worked inside the Cuban American Embassy.
Oh, okay.
So they were really nice. They were on the bus with us the whole time, and I got to pick his brain a little bit about what he thinks about the whole system and it's well spoken. And then I asked for their names, and she gave me their names, and then she came back and said, "Please do not publish my name because they will lose their jobs."
Oh.
I was like, I swear with my heart that I won't publish it.
Yes.
And so
So
I
what
can
are
publish. I can publish a picture and I cannot say the names. Next one. Oh, go back a second. So this is where all our luggage were, and there is another room right here. That's where our equipment would get swept every time we went out.
Oh.
And over there was their room, and then across from there was the food area. Next.
Sheyla, what was it like Tuesday morning when you heard about Belgium and the bombing, just before the president spoke?
It was normal. I mean, it wasn't like
No
a big deal.
emotion?
Everybody was emotion. The concentration was Obama.
Everybody was there
It
for
was
Obama,
Obama.
they weren't there for
They
Cuba.
weren't thinking
No.
about Brussels or the bombing or the whatever. When you text me and say something about this, and I was like, what am I gonna say? I
Yeah,
mean,
because the whole world was,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, that moment was very different for everyone else. And
Yeah, for Cubans it was Obama, and they were all excited about seeing him there. And let me tell you, all the people that were in the theater were handpicked to be there throughout the schools and the hospital and businesses and things like that. It was very, it's same with the people that went to the stadium. They were all picked through the school systems. And they were there since 10 a.m. in the morning. And he got there about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Next one. This is the press, the one that were with the White House. All these people. This is walking up to the palace. I don't know how many times I stood right in front of the palace. And you couldn't stand in front on that side of the road. You had to stand on the other side of the road. If you stand on there, so move over there. So I so many times stood there trying to get a ride to get home. Next. Here I am standing in front of the monument. You gonna kick us out?
No, you're not.
Okay. This is Jim Avila. He reports for ABC. In front of the palace when we were leaving. This is inside the palace. The next one. That's after they were gone. I stood over there and took the picture, really close to the stage. And that's outside. That's the monument. And this is inside the theater.
Why is it called a palace?
That's what it's called in Latin America. All of the
Palacio.
presidential houses are called palaces.
El
In
Palacio de
Colombia
las
es el Palacio de
Comisiones.
Nariño,
Mhm.
el Palacio Rosado in Argentina.
Next
I
one.
guess because we come from a
Spanish
lineage
influence.
of a royalty.
King.
Yeah.
The Spanish influence.
So go back to the one before. This is right after Obama's speech. Next one. The stadium waiting for Obama. We were like really far. Like all these people. Go back. All these people right here, this is all press. And there was like, and then on this side and behind me there was more press.
Wow.
There's the man right there.
Oh,
Proud to have a credential to go to the baseball game.
Yes.
And this is this little
So
boy.
who won?
US.
it's 4-0.
This is the little
Right?
book that
4-1. 4-1.
they gave me with the
Oh,
polyester. I haven't read it yet. And that's the last one? Is that the last one? Oh, this is my James.
Who is that?
My James Bond. This is our Secret Service guy.
Oh.
And I said, you look like a James Bond. And he started laughing. And I said, yeah, like a character.
Like James
Yeah.
Bond.
He came up to me, he was standing down below, and he opens up his suit, and he says, "Can you stash this for me in your bag?"
What
and,
was
and,
it?
and he bought a Cuba baseball cap and a Cuba
Jersey.
uniform jersey.
Oh.
So the Secret Service agent's asking me if
Yes,
can you stash this in your bag?
That was really cool. And I have 5-inch heels on. And I stand in a step above him.
Oh, he's tall.
He's really, really tall. And I said, well, now we're the same height, aren't we? He started laughing.
Oh.
Next one. This is my cousin that surprised me like an hour before we left.
Oh.
And she lives on the other end of the country in Santiago.
Oh, wow.
This is my brother and her. Next one. And this, one of the journalists was carrying this out. Cuba 2016, yes, we came.
Wow.
I didn't see that anywhere.
Me neither. I saw him with that. I said, "Can I take a picture?" And I saw that it said, "Yes, we can." And then until this morning, that Kenny pointed out, that it says "came here." What does it mean? And I was like,